spooky dookie poopy video today, bro. Disturbing Reddit confessions. Listen, I'm not a person who does these like scary ass videos. I'm not gonna lie. But if I get scared, I have something to cover me. I got James Harden's face. I have James Harden's face to always look at if I always feel some fear and if I'm always scared as a motherfucker. So every time I get spooked, I'll be like, oh, James Harden saved me. And James Harden will be here to fucking save me, guys. He'll avenge me every time I feel fear. And let's get into this fucking shit, bro. This is disturbing Reddit confessions. Let's see how disturbing it is, and let's see if it's as disturbing if I have to do this. If I have to pull the James Harden move real quick. So let's go with this shit, alright?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Let's fucking
Welcome
do
back
this.
to another Reddit stories video, and today we're going to be getting into something a little...
Please do not get copyrighted video. I don't want to record a fucking... Yo, I'm not gonna lie. My reactions are probably... Yo, this video might pump up to fucking 2 hours, bro. I'm a motherfucking styler, so please do not be copyrighted, because there's no way I'm about to upload a nearly 2-hour video for it to get copyrighted. That's bullshit.
bit different. Some Reddit confessions, and more particularly, disturbing Reddit confessions.
Okay.
And this is a new series I think I'm going to start for the channel.
Okay.
If you guys like this video and
Let's see
receive it well, and comment down below.
Hey, bro, you got 1.7
I'll
mil
continue
views
to
on
make
this
it a
bitch,
series
bro.
and post more videos like this.
By
in
the way, sub to the channel.
These are
We're almost at
super,
100.
Super
Beady, beady.
interesting stories and posts, and this could be a phenomenal series. They're all super interesting. And
We
thank
get
you
it, bro.
so much
We
for
get it, bro.
Before we get into
Come
this
on, skeleton,
video,
bro.
Please like the end of the video. I allowed my wife to...
Okay. The sucking shit. What? I stood by and allowed my wife to almost...
almost kill our son. I was happy she did it.
Put the guy in locks. What the fuck? There's no. I don't even want to hear this shit. This shit's not even scary. Put the guy in handcuffs and toss him in the ditch. That's just cooked.
Okay, fair warning. This one is long as hell. Apologies for that. But this is very hard for me, and I've been carrying it for a lot of years. On the advice of my therapist, I've written it all out to try to work out my feelings on it. He didn't advise me to submit it to Reddit, of course, but I've
Holy
struggled
fuck!
with this for a long
The
time,
spooky,
and I
scary
need to hear
skeleton
other
music is
people's
on too,
opinion
bro. It's
on
very
it.
fucking spooky.
I still really have no idea how I feel about it.
Yo, is it
After
better
all
than
these
recording?
years, but I will submit for judgment by the masses.
Okay.
I know I did wrong on some things.
Let me just
probably
pop James Harden
a lot
real
of
quick.
things.
Let's go
I tried
back.
to do my
Let's do
best
that.
that I could. My son was very troubled. Very troubled. If you have seen the movie We Need to Talk About Kevin, it will really help to understand what I'm talking about, because I swear to God, when I watched that film, I thought I was watching a documentary of my life. I felt like the writer must have had cameras hidden in my damn house. That's how accurate it was. The only difference
Damn.
is that in the movie, the boy appears normal to his father and only reveals his true nature to his mother. With my son, he didn't have that mask. His insane behavior was the same with everyone. From the day he was born, my son just came out wrong. He was planned, my wife and I tried to get pregnant, and were ecstatic when he was born.
Wait. Okay. Why the fuck am I pausing your ad? Yo, there's gonna be a lot of fucking of this shit because I'm broke as a motherfucker. We don't have 100 subs, so we do not have bread. But wait, from the demos. He was planned. I thought he said bland. I'm like, bro, what the fuck you want? You want your son to have seasoning? Like what?
He was wanted and loved. We showered affection on him and really tried to give him a happy childhood. But from the day we brought him home from the hospital, he was miserable. He cried for 13 months straight. I'm not exaggerating. 13 months without a break. He cried until he had no voice left and kept crying. You could see his little face scrunched up and no sound coming out. Totally hoarse. There were
Oh my god, it's the fucking sound and the fucking
times
bro, I thought there was a person behind me. My goodness.
he would literally be crying in his sleep. I've never seen or heard of any other kids able to do that. We brought him to doctors, specialists, tried changing his diet, held him, rocked him, toys, swaddling, music, mobiles, everything we could think of. Nothing worked. 13 months of grading, grinding.
Let me put that bitch
no
right there, bro.
sleep.
Where the
Hell.
fuck?
Once
By the way,
he
I
got
just ate
over
this
the
like
crying
fucking Greek,
stage,
like
we thought
vanilla
we were
Greek
out of
yogurt with
woods,
some like
but
granola in that
it
bitch.
quickly
I put some
became clear
cinnamon.
that
That shit
some
look slapped. I'm
unknown
not gonna lie,
reason,
bro.
he was just
putting
angry
that
at
bitch
being
out there. That was
alive.
my dessert.
I never saw that kid have a genuine, joyous smile once in the time I knew him. I saw him grin a vicious, horrible grin many times, taking a perverse pleasure from causing pain or suffering or breaking a rule. But a smile from real pleasure at something nice? No, never. Not once. He had
Damn.
no interest in anything positive.
It's a fucking child. That doesn't matter. The fuck. I mean, like, look. If this guy's talking about it like a fucking, if the guy's like 5 years old, I'll be like, okay, that's kind of fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Get the low key, bro. Just like take the motherfucker to therapy or some shit. The motherfucker's 13 months old, bro. The guy is barely a year old, bro. Can we just like chill out? The fuck?
Was fueled
Relax.
by hate, and everything he did was bent toward that. As soon as he could walk, his mission in life was to destroy things. He would break or try to break anything that came.
Well, that's what the fuck babies do. I mean, most babies. I feel like a lot of fuck. I can't even talk. A lot of babies would likely do that. The fuck? They obviously want to destruct and break something. It's what the fuck they do. They're retarded. Like, bro's a baby, bro. Like, okay. If this is one of the stuff, this guy's retarded. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
In his range,
It's cooked.
smash it, chew it, throw it in the toilet.
That's a fucking baby, bro. Yo, my brother, my little brother, bro. When he was a baby, this guy was so weird. This guy literally used to, if he took a shit, he used to like fucking bring everyone like towards his shit, and he looks at his shit. He's like, yo, look how big my fucking shit looks. He sometimes play with his shit. It's just what the fuck. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. No, that motherfucker was cooked. But bro, I'm just trying to make a point. They're cooked. It's just the age.
Whatever he could. After
Bro, my brother used to go up to my grandpa and be like, yo, listen, come, bro, yo, come to the bathroom. I have to surprise you with something. My grandpa's like, oh, shit, okay. Right, he goes to the bathroom, he sees a fat ass log in the fucking thing, like, fucking floating around. And he's like, look, it's such a big one, bro. I'm like, nah, bro, pack this guy up, bro. Get this guy out of the ditch or something, bro. This guy's something, bro.
while he figured out.
I
to get
swear
his
to God,
diaper
I'm not
off,
even
he took
trolling all
great
my soul.
pleasure
That shit's
in
real.
Shitting and pissing anywhere he could. After a while, he figured out he could hide it and started pissing and shitting in places we wouldn't find right away. Grinded
Okay, that is crazy. This is a smart ass motherfucking baby. This guy's a psychopath.
it into carpets, making it
Ew.
even more of a problem to clean and making the house stink. When he got older, ages 9 to 15, he would
Okay, if he's still cooked here, then
piss and shit in our bed
what the fuck?
until we got a lock on our door and he wasn't able to get in anymore.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not promoting beating your kid because that is fucked up. They like y'all could actually catch like a lot of fucking lawsuits for that. Cause don't. But you have to punish your child in a sense. Cause this guy hasn't talked about disciplining and like fucking advising and guiding his child at all. So that is fucking fried. Can we like actually work on that, please? Because when I was growing up, I've always had punishments. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I got whooped. Yeah, bro, I'm brown, bro. I've been getting whooped. So like, there's like some stuff like when you get whooped or like if you get disciplined, like you'll be like, okay, next time I won't do this. If you're not telling your kid, even when if he's in the ages 9 to 15 and he's still shitting on your fucking bed and it gets so bad that you have to get a fucking lock to lock your fucking door, there's a problem, dumbass. Like, bro, you have to discipline your child.
Then he'd just take a dump in the hallway in front of our room. That biological warfare started around a 2.5 years old
Bro, I sort of gotta hear shit.
in front of our room. That biological warfare started around a 2.5
Bro, I didn't hear this, that. I swear on my life. What the fuck is that? There's nothing around me. What the fuck was the sound?
years old, and he never grew out of it. I'll try to speed it up, as I could literally go on for days about this stuff, but as he grew older, he became more and more unmanageable. He would bite, kick, scream, scratch, and spit at anyone trying to do anything with him. He was kicked out of school twice before he was
He's
9,
probably autistic.
and let him back in and then kicked him out for good.
100%
He had to
autistic.
change schools. The next one put him in a special class that kept him away from the other students. We had to install a door and lock on the kitchen because he would steal knives and use them to gouge the walls/furniture or chase people with them. When he was 10,
What the
he stabbed me pretty good in the hip and ass. I still have the scars. As he grew older, he grew darker. He moved into setting things on fire and torturing local animals.
Oh, hell no. This guy's a psychopath. No, okay. So your child's a psychopath. Should have, you could literally take him to therapy. You could do all that shit, and you're just. Damn, bro. Yeah, he's a psychopath. If he's doing that, then he's cooked. Literally.
There was a stray dog that hung around the park near our house. My son blinded it, and one
Harden, are you hearing this shit? James Harden, the dumbass, blinded a dog. Yes, yes, I know. Thank you, Harden. Bro, this motherfucker's cooked. I don't know why we're not taking the motherfucker to therapy by now. Like, the fuck is we doing, dumbasses?
An eye with a barbecue fork. He would dip cats' tails in gasoline and light them on fire. He became a violent,
Holy fuck, the song's
stinking,
gonna like, fucking
vicious
thing.
beast that lived in our house. We couldn't do anything with him. I will take this opportunity to preempt this
I'm
tsunami
gonna
of
put that bitch up
messages.
a bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes,
James
we had
Harden.
the
Okay,
kid
James
in
Harden's
fucking
intact.
therapy.
Let's go.
He saw a psychiatrist twice a week and had God knows how many different medications prescribed to him over the years. Nothing worked. Therapy didn't work.
My fault. If therapy didn't work, that's my fault. Okay. So far, you're being a good parenting, but you should have disciplined and whooped his ass.
Meds didn't work. Nothing fucking worked. He was like a poison cloud of hate and fury, lashing out at anything in his reach. When my son was 16, my wife
give him the
got
Dexter
pregnant
code.
again. I can't tell you how different our reaction was. Instead of joy, we felt horror. This pregnancy had not been planned, and we were at a loss of what to do. My son had been such an unending nightmare for 16 years. We couldn't take the idea of starting again from the beginning. We talked a lot about terminating, but A, access to A, was not as easy in those days as it is now, and B, my wife was very against it. We talked about many options. In the end, we decided that my wife would have the baby, and if it turned out evil, we would put it up for adoption. We knew we just couldn't do it again with another child like our son.
Yep, we broke as a motherfucker. I was actually locked in for that one. I'm not gonna lie. I did not need Harden there. Okay, another fucking ad. Nice.
Dreamland.
Fucking dog shit. Pissed in.
We had a daughter. She was very normal.
Okay.
Suddenly, we saw what our lives should have been like the whole time. How things would have been had our son not been himself. She laughed
What
at things.
the
She breastfed
fuck?
without biting. She didn't have teeth yet anyway, but you could tell she was just trying to eat, not tear her mom's breast off. After 4 months, she was sleeping through the night. She was happy. She was normal. I can't describe the relief and happiness that we both felt.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I know what's gonna happen here. I feel like the psychotic son is gonna harm her in some type of way here. So, James Harden, I'm ready.
Don't have the words for it. This is where I believe I may have started really pulling back from my son. Up until that time, whatever mistakes I made, I had always tried my best to do my best for my son. I'm convinced of that. I tried to help him and love him and care for him. I really tried, but when my daughter was born, my wife and I both instinctively just turned toward her. She became our focus, not from malice, but just because she was so much easier. She was so happy and sweet. Every moment we were with her was just like magic. I understand this was wrong, but we honestly couldn't help it. I don't have a better explanation than that.
I mean, that's pretty normal. Like, if your son is old, for example, when I was like around 6 years old, right, or like I remember I was in kindergarten, bro. My parents didn't give me love, and I kind of understood at that age. Like, I was obviously got a little bummed out because like they didn't care about me as much when my little brother was born, but I didn't really care because of understanding. Like, the fuck. Isn't that like kind of common sense? Listen, maybe I was a smart ass child and now I just like fucking got nerfed, but what the fuck is he doing, bro? Like, it is what it is. And it states here at the time he was 17, so I'm pretty sure I'm assuming he's 17 by this time. So he should be mature enough. If he's not, he's fucking retarded as a motherfucker.
Son hadn't given a shit about my wife being pregnant. I honestly don't know if he really understood it. But when
I sort of gotta hear voices. On my soul. Oh no, I think it was my brother crying.
we brought our daughter home, he
I
started
just
acting
died
out
in the
even
game.
more. I didn't think it was possible, but he took it
What the fuck?
acting out even more. I didn't think it was possible.
But I heard sirens, but it was probably the police. That's kind of a weird time though, I'm not gonna lie. This shit got me kind of spooked. Yo, no, fuck this shit. Harden, stop this shit. I'm actually scared, bro. You have to help me on this, bro. This shit's cooked, okay? Please.
But he took it up another notch. At this time, he was 17. We were having blowout screaming matches daily. Usually after we fought, he would storm out of the house and disappear for hours at a time or come back the next morning.
Yeah, I don't want
It
to
was
keep pausing this shit, but again, like, in order for YouTube to work, you have to, like, pause this shit a lot. And I just want to put it out there. When I was a kid, I was a pretty violent motherfucker. I was the weird ass motherfucker. Like, with, like, I'm talking about, like, from ages from, like, kindergarten to, like, grade 2. I was violent. I was one to pick a fucking fight. I was fucked in the head. I ain't gonna lie. So, kind of understand it. But after third grade, I just never really got into the fighting atmosphere ever again. Like, I feel like I'm matured in a sense. So, I don't know, bro. When I was young, I was violent, bro. I used to fight for people who were about to get into fights. I was like, I don't know why the fuck I did that.
Leave. I started to actually look forward to our fights because it would get him away from us for a while.
Damn.
After the birth of our daughter, my relationship with my son was almost entirely gone. Our only real interactions were screaming at each other. My wife was even worse with him. She just had nothing left. By that time, if our son even came into the same room as her, she would just stop whatever she was doing and start screaming, "Get the fuck away from me. Get away. Get the fuck out," until
Damn.
he left. He started spending more and more
What the fuck? Okay, that's kind of cooked. I'm not gonna lie.
time out of the house, which was a blessing for us. I have no idea what he got up to in the world, but we were just happy it wasn't being inflicted on us.
Okay, I know the guy's a little bitch, but this is awful parenting.
As a consequence of our son's behavior, we had invested heavily in locks around our house. All of the cheap, thin interior doors in our home had been replaced with thick, dense wood doors that couldn't be kicked through, equipped with keyed locks that my wife and I carried keys to.
Damn.
I know it sounds extreme, but locks and heavy doors were the best way we had found to create safe spaces from them. And again,
Bro, I don't like
before
these
I'm
background sounds,
undated
bro. It was
with
fucking
messages, I was not locking my son
spooky poopy.
in rooms like a prisoner. He had free reign of the house and could come and go as he pleased. My wife and I would lock ourselves in rooms to protect ourselves from him. If anything, we were the prisoners in our own home.
We broke as a motherfucker. Skip restaurants, faves. Skip the dishes.
Save up to 30% on Smith
Yep.
Group travel
Yo, I ain't gonna lie,
and
bro. This shit's
vouchers.
cooked.
On the day in question, I had fought with my son in the morning and he had left the house in a rage. My wife and I were enjoying some peace and quiet in the kitchen while our daughter napped in our bedroom. And then my daughter began crying.
Oh no.
Any parent who has young children can tell you, you get used to your child's cries and you can tell after a while what they need. They cry differently if they are hungry or need changing or are just restless and want to be held. Babies can communicate pretty well before they can speak. The cry was none of those things.
Oh hell no. This cry was. Okay, I'm not gonna read the others. No, this is fucked.
This cry was
It's
terror.
the fucking
The
psychopath.
second we heard it, my wife and I were both up out of our chairs and running to the room. The door was locked, of course, and it took a few seconds to get the right key to get it open. My son was in the room. We lived in a bungalow, and the bastard had climbed in the window to get her. He was standing over her crib with a steak knife in his hand.
Oh my
I
god.
have no idea where he got it. It wasn't one of ours. We controlled our knives very carefully and always kept them in locked drawers. I think he may have stolen it from one of our neighbors' houses. He had broken her skin twice already.
Oh my god. Oh. Execute him. Put him in juvie.
Once in the belly area and once on her arm. I could see blood running down. When I entered the room, he was dragging the back of the knife down her face, not cutting, almost tickling her with it, teasing her while she screamed. He looked up at us and smiled. Before I knew what I was doing, teasing her,
Yo, this motherfucker fucking dead. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This guy's autism. Yo, this guy deadass has autism or he's psychotic. There's so there's no in between. It's one or the two. Or he might be both. Not gonna lie. This guy's fucked. Put him in juvie. Arrest him. Do something. You could deadass do that. And also, the parents didn't discipline their child. Slap the fuck out of your child. If he's this fucked up, then don't. You should be like fucking disciplining him, but you didn't. Cause y'all probably white. Y'all fucking white motherfuckers. The fuck? Bro, this is the thing, bro. Black people and brown people. Yo, I feel like these are the only type of even fucking Muslims, which are pretty much brown, but these are the only parents I feel like that actually discipline their child. That's why a lot of their childs aren't fucked in the head. A lot of white people do whatever the fuck they want. Let's keep it a stack. Most of them, right? But you can't say the same for the people around, like the people I just stated. Like it's just not how it goes. So, yo, this is just bad parenting.
while she screamed. He looked up at us and smiled. Before I knew what I was doing, I was already moving, running to put myself between them. I didn't think about it. I just moved instinctively. Even with that, my wife got there faster. It was like a movie on fast forward. She got to our son and bashed his hand away, knocking the knife across the room, and then shoved him with her whole body weight, so hard that he flew away from the crib and bounced off the wall.
Weak ass child, bro. If you're 17 years of age and you're getting pieced up by your mom like that, bro, you a little bitch. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Listen, I've never fought or I never will fight my mom. It doesn't matter the circumstance. But the fact you're getting bitched by your mom while you're 17 years of age is fucking embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You might be the worst human of all time. You might be the worst. You're that's just a waste of sperm. If you're a male and you're getting pieced up like that, bro, you a little bitch. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This guy got boxed up by his mom at the age of 17.
I picked up my daughter and held her while my wife screamed us. I could see her shaking, almost convulsing. I can remember the smell of the room, the sound of my daughter screaming and wailing. The look of my son's face as he stood there, just nothing. Blank, dead. There was nothing in his eyes. No emotion. He looked like
He's a
an alien
psychopath
to me. I watched my wife take a step forward. I could have reached out and stopped her, but I didn't. She stepped forward again, very close to him. I could have stopped her again, but I didn't. She waited, looking at him for maybe 3 to 5 seconds without moving, and then she punched him in the face. Now, until this point,
Deserved.
I've been picturing my wife as a typical woman, small frame, dainty, delicate.
So, your mom is small, and she's a delicate woman, and you got pieced up by her. You literally got full boxed 360 no scope by this bitch. Bro, you was ass. Nah, let's keep it a buck. You 17 years of age and you fucking ass. The fuck is we doing, you dumbass? Are you? No, like, I'm actually glad that happened, but the fact that that did happen just shows how much of a dog shit man you are. You're 17, bro. Come on. You've hit puberty already. Should be doing better, bro.
This is not the case. My wife does have a small frame, but dainty and delicate she is not. Never has she been.
My fault. But still, small frame compared to a 17-year-old man, that is still fucking embarrassing. Every 17-year-old could take down a woman around that, like a small frame who's not delicate or anything. Still, a man should be piecing her up. The fuck?
Since I've known her. Since her early teens, my wife has been a boxer. MMA didn't exist back then, but karate and
Still, doesn't matter at all. I'm keeping it a buck. Cause bro, the amount of like muscles, like the muscle like a human has in his arms, like a man compared to a female, and also like testosterone also plays a big, like, it's just all these factors. Like, it should, if you get pieced up, it shouldn't be like that bad. You know what I mean?
boxing were big.
Like,
in
you're
those
17,
days,
bro.
And my wife was a very talented amateur. She was about 130 pounds. She carried a lot of muscle, and she knew how to punch.
130 pounds, by the
on her
way.
back
Yeah,
then.
fuck that
And I have
muscle. I ain't
no
doing
doubt
check.
that in a real fight between me and her, she could have and would have pounded me flat.
Yep, this man's a little bitch. This guy's literally a little bitch. He a grown ass bitch. Like, bro, if your wife could box you up, you was ass. Like, that you was not strong. You was not a strong man. How are you older? I mean, okay, I'm pretty sure y'all are the same age or like around the same age. I hope. And you're a man. Like, your frame is obviously bigger. You weigh much more than her. Like, this is embarrassing, bro.
Neither of us had ever laid a hand on her son.
I had 70 pounds on her back. Yeah, bro, your
Even
ass.
before. But something broke in her that day. And all the years of anger and pain and sorrow and frustration just came pouring out. When she hit him, his head snapped back and blood started pouring out of his nose.
Oh my
He
god.
hardly reacted. He just looked at her with this shocked expression like he didn't know how to process what had just happened. She waited another second, and then she hit him again.
What?
I could have reached out and stopped her. I could have dragged her out of the room, taken her away, calmed her. I didn't. I just stood there and watched him while she systematically started to pound him to a pulp. Every time he brought his hands to cover one part, she would blast him somewhere else. Body, head.
Your boy's a little bitch. This has to be a fucking made up story. There's just no way. I don't need James Harden for this. Like, I deadass don't need my Glorious King for this. This is just embarrassing.
Body, head, over and
There's
over.
no way this is real.
He started screaming, crying out, yelling for her to stop. It's the most genuine reaction I'd ever seen him have to anything in his whole life. But she wasn't stopping.
The thing is now, if you just let him go and don't do anything about this shit, that boy is probably gonna like plot something on the wife to, you know, just like poop her, you know, like slit her or some shit like that. Like, it's just what it is. Like, the boy's probably gonna execute a plan now, so you gotta wrap them motherfucking in juvie or something, bro.
I watched her ramping up, hitting harder, faster, working him like a heavy bag. He tried to swing at her and she slipped him easily. She was on autopilot, sinking down into her
Alright,
training.
punt that bitch with my fucking elbow, bro. The fuck you think this bitch is, bro?
Completely unconventional.
Bro.
And my Wix website really has to capture the same magic.
Bro, she merely adopted testosterone? I was
stood
born in that
watching
bitch,
for
bro.
a
The
minute.
fuck?
Then I turned my back on
Nah, that was a bar.
them and took my daughter out of the room. I brought my daughter to the kitchen and gave her a bath in the sink. I found that he had cut her a third time on the sole of her foot. All the cuts were superficial.
Fuck.
I cleaned her up and held her until she calmed. I put polysporin and band-aids on her cuts. In our bedroom, I could hear my son screaming, calling my wife horrible names, telling her he would cut her head off and F her corpse. After a while, I didn't
That is the weirdest thing you could tell your mom. The fact you want to cut her head off and fuck her corpse. That's your mother, by the way. I hope you know that. That is actually disgusting. No, the fact you even think about that, this guy's more than psychotic. This guy's a fucking... This guy's actually a weirdo.
hear him saying anything anymore. Didn't even hear him crying out. I assumed that he must have been knocked out, but I could still hear her beating him. That went on for a long time, long enough for my daughter to drift off to sleep in my arms. I just sat at the kitchen table waiting for her to finish. Finally, she came out and sat down across from me. Her hands were swollen and red. Her face and arms were splattered with blood. Her chest was heaving. We just stared at each other without saying anything. After a while, I asked her, "Is he dead?" She looked back at me and answered, "I fucking hope so."
That is crazy, but continue.
I nodded. That was all there was to say about that. I understood how she felt perfectly. I felt the same. I didn't know what to do. So we just sat there waiting silently. Eventually, my wife started crying and went to go take a shower. I just stayed where I was, holding our daughter. After a long while, I heard
You literally can't, like... Literally can't do anything about, I mean, you have to do something about the kid because he will literally slit y'all if he's not, like, packed up. I'm not gonna lie. You have to do something. You have to send him somewhere or, like, put him up for adoption or, like... Not even adoption. He'll probably find his way back and fuck y'all up. So you have to do something, bro.
her moaning and sobbing coming from our room. It turned out that my son wasn't dead. I went in to see how bad it was, and it was pretty bad. I've never seen a more merciless beating laid out onto anyone, before or since. He was lying on the floor, rolling around with blood leaking out of his face, lying in a pool of vomit. His nose was squashed flat out across his face.
Damn.
Both of his eyes were completely swollen shut
Fuck.
and starting to blacken already. I could see that a couple of his fingers were bent out at weird angles.
Damn.
And he had pissed his pants. I think he must have been missing teeth.
Wait,
but
what?
Bent out at weird angles, and he had pissed his pants.
That guy a little bitch. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You a bitch ass motherfucker, but you peeing. Oh, hell no.
I think
bro.
he must have been missing teeth, but I couldn't see any on the floor, and I couldn't see it inside his mouth. His lips were all puffed up and swollen. From talking to my wife about it later, I know now that she had systematically beaten every part of his body, focusing heavily on his legs. She told me she kicked him in the groin repeatedly until her legs got tired, and had kept beating his body long after he had passed out. When my wife came out of our shower, I still didn't know what to do about our son. I didn't know whether to call the police or an ambulance, take him to the hospital myself. I honestly didn't have any idea what to do.
If you call the police or if you take him to the ambulance, your wife is getting packed up and locked in jail.
After a while, I realized that I simply didn't care what happened to him anymore, and we decided to just let him live or die on his own. There was an in-law suite in the basement that we had never really used, and my wife, my daughter, and I just moved down there. We simply ceded the top floor of the house to my son and locked everything down, separated our lives entirely. There was plenty of food in the upstairs cabinets, enough for a couple of weeks or more. He had a washroom and bedrooms to use. We had a washroom in the basement, a small kitchenette, and a separate entrance so we could just stop going upstairs. We just decided we were done with him. I figured we'd let his food run out and see what happened next. Over the next week, we could hear him moving around upstairs sometime.
I don't like these audio shifts, but fuck it, we ball. And when the fuck is the most replayed part? Because, oh my god, it's in this story. Interesting.
I think he
We might need Harden.
just spent most of his time lying in bed recovering. I went to work, watching on high alert in case he attacked me in the driveway. But he never did. My wife stayed home with our daughter. She was never out of our sight.
That's stupid.
One night, we heard him going ballistic, smashing things and banging. We didn't respond. He never tried to get downstairs or get near us, though. I think he was afraid that if he got near us again, my wife might finish the job on him. After 3 weeks down in the basement, We hadn't heard anything from up above for a few days, and I ventured upstairs to the main floor of the house. The place was demolished, and there was no sign of my son. He was
Yo, what
gone.
games are there today on
It
the
took
NBA?
months to repair the damage he had done and get the main floor back to normal again. There was food and shit smeared all over the walls and broken glass on the floor.
Okay, that kid is fucked. How do you have food and shit smeared on? Oh my god. Nah, this guy living in India.
Big holes in the drywall. He had ripped the place apart. He tore up the linoleum in a corner of the kitchen and emptied an entire foam fire extinguisher into the living room. I feel thankful that he didn't burn the house down with us in it. I'm honestly not sure why he didn't. The kid wasn't shy about lighting things on fire.
Yeah, we broke as a motherfucker, bro. How y'all know?
The union of fruity, sweet, gummy, and tangy crunchy nerds. Nerds gummy clusters.
Alright,
So
nerds,
you
bro, we
can
gotta
unleash
sponsor
your
my ass,
senses.
please.
Now for a limited time,
I
cherry
love
raspberry.
nerds. Sponsor.
Can the internet be a force for good?
fuck.
Yes, it can. When you
dog
choose
shit.
a .ca domain, that
After that, I lived in fear every day that he would come back, that he would ambush us out of the blue and try to kill us. We moved house out about 3 years later, and I finally stopped being afraid that he would show up again, as now we had no idea where we were. I finally felt safe from him. All this happened a long time ago. My son was born in the spring of 1971. My daughter was born in 88. I'm an old man now. I'll be 70 this year, and my wife passed from cancer in 2016. My son was born in the spring of 1971. My daughter was born in 88. I'm an old man now. I'll be 70 this year, and my wife passed from cancer in 2016. My daughter's 31
Damn, that's fucked.
now. I moved in with her and her husband after my wife passed.
Huh?
I've got 2 granddaughters.
Oh wait, what the fuck? Okay, it's gonna be very fucking spooky, scary skeleton over here. This is very fucking shivering me timbers now.
And they are the joy of my life. I see a therapist a couple times a month to talk about this. I don't know where my son is. The last time I saw him was when he was lying on the floor of our bedroom, bleeding and smashed. I haven't heard from him since he left. More than 30 years now. I don't want to. I carry a lot of guilt from that time, and a lot of conflicted emotions. I didn't beat him myself, but I allowed him to be beaten. And I thought he deserved it. I was happy it happened. I didn't try to kill him, but I would have been happy if he died. I will say that I do hope he was able to overcome his demons and go live a normal life somewhere. If he wasn't able to do that, if he stayed the way he was, then I truly do hope someone out there killed him. When I knew him, he was a rabid dog. In whichever
Damn,
way it
bro.
went, I just hope he isn't still out there hurting anyone else.
Don't be scary shit. Okay. Oh my fucking god. James Harden. They scared me, bro. They fucking scared me. Yeah, man. Bro, I have my shit blasted as well as James Harden. And they just spooked me up like that, James Harden. They can't be doing that, right? Yeah, I thought so, bro. That shit fucked up, bro. Shit sad, bro. Shit tragic. Bro, I fucking hate the jump scares, bro. Appreciate it, Harden. Yo, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm dying, but haven't told anyone. I was diagnosed with
That's a
cancer
lame ass
little
jump
over
scare,
2
bro. You
weeks
can't be
ago
doing that.
after a regular checkup.
I have my shit on high,
Turns
too.
out I have a tumor on my colon that has spread to other areas, liver and lung so far, and will require extensive chemo and surgery for any chance to live longer than 8 months. I'm not having any treatment, and I haven't told my wife because she'll only pressure me to get the treatment, which results in months of pain and suffering for a relatively small chance. Instead, I'm
not gonna lie. Okay, the point he's making here, I low-key understand it because once you're dying, right, or like passing out, or like you know you're gonna like you don't have too much to like to live on Earth for, you obviously don't want that time to be like the last few months of your life. You do not want to be in pain, suffering, and just like feel like shit. Right? If you want to go out, you'd rather go out with your family in your house and just like in general just have a happy life or like a happy ending, right? Not be in pain, right? Enjoy life and then go out, not like going to like some medical rooms and all that bullshit. Like I got that's not waste shit because there's not even a high like it's like a somewhat like there might be a chance you might like live, right? If not, then it's just a waste of time. So I kind of understand why people do this. So yeah.
sure our last few months together are filled with only happy memories.
Yeah.
I'm starting to work later and finishing earlier in the day. To make her breakfast in bed and take her on dates in the evenings.
Aw.
My landlord I rent my workshop from has agreed to let me run my business rent-free for the next 6 months, which means significantly less financial stress, and I can save a lot more. So she has something to carry her over afterwards.
That's fire.
I hope she'll forgive me for taking this path.
Yo, jump scare. Jump scare.
When I was
Yeah, fuck this shit, bro. James Harden, bro. I learned. Yeah, I learned, bro.
16, I took my family pet to the vet.
What type of dumbass confession was that? That was nothing. That's not even a disturbing confession at all.
Found out he was terminally ill and never told anyone.
Wait, what? When I was 16, I took my family pet to the vet. Found out he was terminally ill. I never told anyone. What? It's not even disturbing. This is dumb as shit. This is like why?
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Kia.
Oh,
Kia.
right here.
Kia.
So much.
I got you.
Kia Kaye. Sponsor me.
I'm the eldest of 4
Kia,
kids in a
I
family
think.
of 6, and growing up we had a beautiful albino
Kia,
chinchilla
Kia,
named
it's
Dusty.
Kia.
Dusty was an awesome little pet to have as a kid. Very sweet. Never bit anyone. Loved to cuddle.
Not
and
gonna
run
lie, I
around
might not stall this
digging
bitch that
tunnels
much.
in the
Not
bed
gonna cap,
sheets.
guys.
He had this really big cage in our guest bedroom.
Yeah, it's
that
a
was connected
36
to my
minute
room,
video.
And every
Yeah.
time someone would walk past his cage, he would run to the gate hoping to be taken out. If you opened the gate, he would just hop right into your hand. Anyway, great pet. So about 3 days after I got my driver's license as a 16-year-old,
I got my, listen, I think I already talked about this shit, but that was on the video that I got taken down because YouTube's a little bitch. I take that back. YouTube do not fucking give me more copyright strikes. I love y'all. But, I got my fucking highway test and I'm done my fucking license. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm once I get my camera and shit, I might make a whole video on that shit, bro. Like, on how, like, driving, like, the whole test marathon thing is here in, like, fucking Canada, because... Yo, my experience has been like pretty fucking rad. I'm not gonna lie, they've been pretty fucking bizarre. So, yeah, let me know if y'all want to see that shit.
I noticed that
If y'all get to the video till here, if y'all do, bro, I fucking suck y'all dick,
which
bro.
I hadn't seen
Real
happen
shit.
before.
Fuck with y'all.
Feeling like a brand new adult with my new driver's license, I decided to take it upon myself to bring him to the vet and see what was up. So I put him into a brown paper grocery bag with his favorite blanket, made some air holes, stapled it shut, and strapped him into the passenger seat of my family's van. Fast forward maybe a half hour.
I didn't listen. Was it? Is there a
sitting
dog?
in the vet's office
What is
holding
it?
Dusty, feeling like the most responsible adult ever. The vet is an exotic animals vet and takes a look at him, then asks to do an x-ray. So she sedates him a little, does the x-ray, hands him back to me and leaves the room. Adult level 9,000 as I sit petting him until he wakes back up. So the vet comes back in and sits next to me on a little bench in the checkup room and starts petting him in my lap. She's telling me how wonderful he is and how lucky I am to have such a great little pet, asking me my favorite memories of him, all this. So we are talking, and finally I ask her something, like, okay, so how much do chinchilla eye drops cost, because I've got to get going, and she smiles gently, saying something like, I wish eye drops could fix this. She gives me a hug and starts to explain. Dusty was not bred
Did
responsive
she give you a hug?
and had some kind of internal deformity involving the roots of his teeth putting pressure on his eyes and brain. This would eventually cause an early death.
The fact you didn't tell this to your family just shows why the fuck wouldn't you? If you don't have a valid reason, you're a scumbag. I'm not gonna lie.
Couldn't believe it. I remember starting to cry and putting Dusty back in his grocery bag with his blanket and asking if the vet had a stapler I could use to close it again. I paid cash to the receptionist for my babysitting money and got into my car crying all the way home. When I got home, I sat in the car for a while in the garage trying to gather myself as Dusty chewed on his bag. Looking back, I'm not really sure why, but in the car, I decided not to tell my family the news. The vet said Dusty
You're
wasn't in
fucking
pain despite him
dumbass.
tearing eye, and we wouldn't have to put him down. She didn't know how long exactly he had left, but guessed maybe a year. I guess I figured I didn't want my family to be sad every time they played with him or passed by his cage.
Okay. It's not that bad just because you can't really do anything in that circumstance. Literally, like, you just dead ass can't do anything to, like, help them. And so that's kind of better, but at the same time, you should be telling your family, but it's not that bad.
Knowing his time was limited.
I was a
I
chinchilla.
wanted the rest of his little life.
I was
to
like
be
those,
normal. Eventually,
fucking
I brought him
rodents.
back into the house and put him into this cage. I went later that day to Petco and bought rodent eye drops as a cover-up and proudly told my family that night how I bought Dusty to the vet to check his eye and lied, saying the doctor gave me eye drops and told me eye irritation is common in chinchillas. Dusty lived 3 more years after that, 2 years longer than the vet had expected. He passed away just shy of his 10th birthday. On the morning he passed, I told my dad what had actually happened at the vet. He told me I was so much more of an adult than I knew.
Okay, it was gonna be a jump scare there, but I've I low-key know now, so let me just get that jump scare.
Prices.
That's not even that's not disturbing at all.
Perfection.
I'm responsible for
The first one was disturbing. All these aren't
the
disturbing.
deaths of
Wait, oh my fucking goodness. Oh hell nah. Never fucking mind. I've underestimated. No, matter of fact, Harden. I'm about to enter a very hard territory. This shit about to be fucking very spooky and scary. So I need all of your mighty and help. Deliver the 55 piece again, and give me the energy to feel what you were feeling. Pause. No pause. Actually, I actually like feeling you, but come on, Harden, bro. This is gonna be some big shit right here. This is okay. This is fucking crazy. What the fuck?
several people. Around 4 years ago, I was a vendor on the dark net. It was a relatively
Oh hell no, bro! I don't want to do this shit. No, this shit, this shit actually fucks me up. I'm not gonna lie.
short-lived thing. I was just doing it because I was too lazy to get a job, and at the time, didn't want to settle for the 9-to-5 thing. I wanted to start my own business and use the drug money as a startup. I've been using myself for years. Along with that, I met lots of people with the dealing scene, and eventually started dealing myself. I have a lot of anxiety though, so I hated meeting up with people in parking lots, and I definitely didn't want anyone to know where I lived. That's when I read
Reasonable. I mean, obviously.
about the Silk Road and Ross Ulbricht being caught. Got obsessed with the idea of it. Got obsessed with learning OPSEC. All with the goal of eventually using my connections to start up my store. Well, after a couple of months I did. I started my store with 3 drugs: ketamine, meth, and some outdoor weed my buddy was getting for super cheap. All with
Pretty sure weed here in Canada is for like fucking like legal now. Which is kind of cooked. I actually know a lot of people will say that's a W, even though, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't see why the fuck people do this shit for enjoyment, even though you could just live a normal ass life and still have fun. But hey, bro, y'all do you.
was doing good for a few months. Had a couple thousand got stolen in an exit scam, but I had about $25,000 saved up at that point, so it didn't ruin my life like a few vendors I knew of. Eventually, I met a local connect that came into town only once a week, but he had fucking anything I wanted. Mescaline, LSD, mushrooms, PCP, even, and fentanyl. At
Damn.
the time, people weren't really cutting heroin with fentanyl. I mean, I'm sure people did plenty, but it was not nearly as commonplace now. People just did fentanyl, and still do. I put all my addresses into an Excel spreadsheet along with their name, zip code, order, along with the amount. At the time, I was selling some super white powdered mescaline. The fentanyl was also a white powder. Very similar consistency. Long story short,
Hey, why do people, like, how do even people even get into this shit? Like, I actually want to know, because I feel like everyone, like, out of, like, a lot of people nowadays smoke and drink. Obviously, like I'm pretty sure, like, fucking people my age, probably, like, 70% of those people drink. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a minimum. And, like, there's a lot of people who vape and smoke as well. Fuck. Oh my god, my chair's cooked. But yeah, there's like a lot of people like that, and I just want to know what got you into that shit and why. Cause why? Like, what the fuck? There is no need for all that, gang. I don't understand why the fuck people would do that shit, bro. Not gonna lie. Like, your rage reacted to this shit, or is it, what was this? Anyways, yeah, I just don't understand why this is a thing that people do. Like, just enjoy life. Like, bro, drink water, eat proper foods. Bro, you'll physically feel better, and in your like your brain wise, like, you won't have brain fogs and shit. You actually function proper. I listen. Me personally, I've never smoked, I've never drank, I've never vaped or like did any of like the drugs and all that shit, because I just view it as a waste of time. You're ruining your fucking chances of life. I'd say, like, to live longer, etc., etc. You know what I mean? It's just like, why do y'all do this? Like, if it's for fun, that is the dumbest excuse of all time. Like, there's no way for fun you're doing this shit. It's just dumb as shit. Y'all are dead ass. Like, don't. I have no clue. I'm not gonna lie.
fucked up, or I fucked up, and about 7 people's mescaline orders were filled in as fentanyl orders. They all went out. I didn't notice and kept doing my thing for a few days. After about 5 days, someone contacted me and told me their friend died from my mescaline. I immediately called bullshit.
Oh shit. Damn, that's cooked. I'm not gonna lie, no cap glizzy in my hand.
To check my order log and scale up how much I had of my mescaline left. Well, had about 11 grams or more than I should have. I still don't know how the fuck it could have happened. I wasn't a user, but I was definitely high off dabs. I went to check my order log on the market to see if anyone had finalized on their purchase, and a couple of them were, but none from a specific day, including the person that messaged me. No one that had purchased mescaline that day had finalized their orders. The
Oh my, I swear to God I heard something. Oh my soul, I heard something. I dead heard a heartbeat. Wait up. What the fuck is that shit, bro? Wait, let me see.
No one that had purchased mescaline that day had finalized their orders. The market I was on also had a feature to see the user's last activity, and none of them had.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna turn this shit off. I'm dead. I actually heard that shit. 40, yeah, yo, never mind. Yo, I'm gonna stall the fuck out of this video. Harden. What the fuck did I just hear? No, like, Harden, deadass. What the fuck did I just hear? Like, this shit's cooked.
Have logged in for at least 3 days. Most 2 days.
Oh, he's so cute, bro.
I immediately deactivated my vendor account. I didn't even need confirmation. I knew it happened. I knew I just killed several people.
Fuck. Damn. Okay, that is pretty fucked up.
I sold the rest of my drugs, converted my Bitcoin to cash, and moved the fuck away. Didn't speak to anyone for weeks. Found a job in a restaurant, living in a city I always wanted to. I haven't touched drugs since that day. I haven't had anything to do with that life since then. I still think about them every night. I saved their names and Googled them a few days later. I was able to find info on 4 customers that definitely died.
Holy fuck. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I look have to cut my beard, yo. This shit look growing too much. But, damn, bro. That is fucked. This is fucked, bro.
One customer shared it with a friend. They both died. I don't know why I'm even posting this, mainly because I have no one to tell, and even if I did, I don't think I could. I spend my days sober.
W. Like, I feel like you don't need to do all that to just stay, like the fuck? Gotta stay sober. Sober fire, bro.
Clocking into work, clocking out of work, coming home, playing video games. I'm a complete recluse. People I used to know have distanced themselves immensely, and I know it's because I'm a shell of my former self. I can't help it. Could I even tell a therapist about this?
No.
I don't feel like I deserve to be alive. Am I really living anyway? I don't even know anymore. Maybe this will help me feel better.
Okay, next. Alright, bro. Pringles.
Having an affair on my dad.
Huh?
I caught my mom, who I thought was an angel, having an affair on my dad.
Damn.
Now I can't stand her and see her for the sociopath she is.
This isn't disturbing, but continue.
I grew up loving my mother dearly, as most sons do. She was protective, kind, beautiful, successful, and smart, and was someone I strove to be like when I was young. However, I wasn't seeing the side of her that.
Yo, let me
is
see these
at
NBA
her
games
core.
going on right now, bro. Let's
Within
see
the
if these
past
they
3
can even
years,
popping
I
off like
have
fucking
come to
Fear of the
despise
Beard,
her.
bro.
She is selfish, manipulative, two-faced,
No
and
one
an
even near
overall
Harden.
bad human,
Fuck
which
it,
is a
hell,
tough
man.
pill to swallow.
Franz Wagner had
adored
37
25
points on
years.
68% from the
It's
field.
weird how you don't really know
Damn,
your
13
parents
of 19 shooting.
until you
Great
become an
fucking
adult.
performance.
This will be long.
And they beat the.
Just
Oh
one person
shit!
gets
Okay.
through it, then it
That's-
was worth writing.
It's pretty fire.
I just need to get
Jalen
this off my
Brunson,
chest.
33 points.
My parents are in their
57% from the
late 50s.
field, 12
My
of
dad
21.
is
Pretty
very
good game,
successful,
right?
Owner of his own
11
business,
assists. He was
and is
33, 3, and
all-around
11. Pretty good.
Guy. Great
Cade
father to my
Cunningham,
sisters
30. Oh
and
my
I,
god, 29,
and is
8,
a
and
way
10.
better
This guy
husband
nearly
than
has a
my mom
triple double.
deserves.
Is the game
They've
done?
been together since
Yeah,
they
it's
were in
done.
high school.
This
when
guy
in their
was 2
sophomore
rebounds
year,
off a triple
my mom
double.
literally
A
pulled
30-piece
girl
triple
out of his
double.
Jeep
1
got him
point and
because
2
she wanted to
rebounds
be with
off
him. Red
of a triple
flag.
double.
He's
Fuck.
more passive.
A 30-point triple
and
double.
my mom
My
is
bad.
aggressive.
10 of 18 shooting.
obviously.
Pretty fucking solid.
Any honeydew list he got,
Damn, bro.
he did
Okay.
it. Anything my mother wanted. he
Holy
got.
fuck.
His brother and I even always
99,
gave him shit for being
96.
so whipped.
Oh my god, the
They went
Grizzlies
into
missed.
over
99, 96.
$90,000 in debt when I was 13 because my mom
Holy
wanted a big
fuck.
house, Mercedes, and other crap they couldn't afford at the time. We went on expensive vacations that she planned.
Holy
We
fuck,
ate at
Cooper
nice
Flag, generational
restaurants we couldn't
performance,
afford.
26% from
And
the
only
field,
thing my dad
415
ever stood his
shooting,
ground on was
12
that he
points,
gets to deer
cook it
hunt
up.
with the guys 3 weekends a year, which my mom still bitched about being left out of. She has always had to be the center of whatever he does in his life.
Yo, why
No
was
exceptions.
Westbrook like
But
low-key
that isn't what
booming
made me see
for like
her
3
for who
games
she
and then
was.
just like became
4 years
ass?
ago, my now wife and I were
Like,
soon to be married.
I wouldn't say
My mom
ass,
suggested
but
we all take a
his
motorcycle
shooting and
trip
all that,
one
bro, it
weekend.
hasn't been the
My dad and
greatest.
I
I'm
ride
not
together
gonna
often
lie.
with her old coworker. We'll call him James. She explained
How old
he
is
was
the
going through
motherfucker?
a tough time with his ex-wife.
He's the same
and
age
needed
as
to
like
get
Kevin
away.
and James Harden.
We go and
How
have a
was
good
he
time
like?
for a weekend. but
How
it
has
just
he
felt
declined
weird.
so much?
It was my mom, dad, and my now wife,
Interesting.
and James. The dynamic and overall
James
vibe of
Harden?
being around my mom's old friend was strange. He was a nice enough guy. He was tall, handsome, rich, and brawny. He had an ex-wife and 2 kids around my age, and he loved taking pictures of my mom and dad, which creeped me out. Anyways, nothing of importance happened on this trip, but my mom starts acting strange afterwards, and my dad and older sister are the ones who noticed it. At this time, I lived with my fiance on the other side of the city, but my older sister was living with my parents because she was in grad school and was recently divorced after 1 year of marriage, found out he was an addict and spent all their money. One night, a few weeks after our motorcycle trip, my fiance, sister, mom, and I went into an Incubus concert. My mom was acting weird, wanting to smoke pot, downing beers. This isn't like her at all, and just being weird in general. It was like she was a whole different person all of a sudden.
Damn.
After being there for 10 minutes, she said, "I'm gonna go grab a beer," and gets up and disappears for an hour. I went looking for her after she had been gone for 45 minutes, as I was concerned for her safety, and when I came back with no luck, I asked my sister if she's been able to get a hold of her. She rolls her eyes and goes, "I didn't bother calling. She's probably calling James." What the fuck?
What the fuck?
She then drops a bomb and then tells me she and dad suspect she's having an affair with him. She goes on
Come on, Dad. Gotta do something about this shit, bro. Can't just let your bitch be doing shit like that, bro. That's fucked.
to explain how sketchy she has been acting, doing things like changing her phone and iPad password, stepping out for phone calls and whispering, even putting a fucking jar of rocks on her phone while she slept so she would be woken up if anyone touched it. I'm assuming, I don't know. Fucking weird. My dad managed to look in her phone before she changed her password and quickly skimmed through her text with James and saw some suspicious cryptic dialogue. My mom finally gets back to us at the concert, and at this point I'm pissed and devastated all at once. I ask her what took so long. She didn't even have the beer she left to get. And she says, "Oh, I ran into some old friends from my old job at blank."
Right.
Immediately sensing bullshit, what are the chances her 50-plus-year-old friends also went to see Incubus? So I ask who. She didn't expect this follow-up question, but slyly responds with, "You don't know them." I then ask, "Well, what are their names?" She's feeling the pressure and stutters before managing to make up some bullshit names. My wife and sister are listening to my interrogation very intently, while Brandon Boyd is killing it in the background singing "Pardon Me." I get sick of her BS and drop it. I am livid and crushed and thinking of my dad. My sister had already gotten to the point of disgust I was at, so she didn't say anything, and we all kind of ignored it until the next day.
Damn.
After this concert incident, my sister tells my dad what happened, and he finally approaches my mom about everything. He demanded to see her call history and sees a 45-minute call to James at the time of the concert.
These guys are booty calling. I'm keeping it a buck. They were probably booty calling, bro. This bitch probably went in like her fucking like somewhere private, right? Start booty calling on that bit, right? Be like, "Hey, bro, James, I want that bit, bro. Oh my god, I'm stuttering, bro." But anyways, like I was saying, James, bro, I look, you want it in me right now, bro. James, I'm craving you, bro. I'm craving you, James. Some bullshit like that, bro. Some bullshit like that, bro. That's a booty call right there, or they're texting at least. They're doing something. That shit cooked. That shit fried, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me personally, actually, no, I'm not gonna say that because y'all never know what the fuck could happen in anyone's life. But still, that is fucked. Should be taking accountability. I'm not gonna lie, whoop the fucking girl. I mean the wife, or whatever the fuck you want to call her. That's a whore.
Along with many others. He demands to know what the fuck is going on, and she says he is just going through a hard time with his ex, who is apparently debilitated from alcoholism, and she was just helping him get through it as a friend. Anyways, to keep any readers interested, I'm going to skip past this shit that could make this the longest read ever. Basically, the sketchiness goes on for months, and at the time of my wedding, my dad has a tracker in our goddamn car. has requested call logs from the phone company, and is looking at hiring a private investigator.
Comp.
I still remember dancing with her at my wedding. She looked at me adoringly, and I couldn't look back at her. Little did my dad or I know, me and my love for my kayaking would soon give him everything he needed.
Performing on the
Okay.
biggest stage in the world was just one step in my journey.
What is this at?
Hi,
Damn,
I'm
she
Ronnie.
bad.
When I teach people,
Never
all
mind. Take that back.
A month or so after my wedding, I go to stay with my old college roommate for a weekend of kayaking and fishing.
Yo, this one's good though. It's
We lived
not
on my
disturbing, but this one's
grandparents'
good.
lake house, my mom's parents. And I was going to pick up my kayak from their house that day. My dad randomly calls me just to say hi and probably tells me about whatever sketchy BS my mom has been up to, though probably not healthy. He is my best friend, and this has been our convos lately. I tell him that I'm headed to the lake house, and he responds with, I doubt she would be this bold, but your mom said she was at the lake house with her girlfriends this weekend, and I want you to be prepared if that isn't the case. If it is,
So this guy's on some Batman vigilante shit. This guy about to be like fucking Dexter Morgan in that sneak stealthy fucking area. You know what I mean? This guy about to be like finessing the system. This guy literally about to be crawling everywhere like a motherfucking fucking Spider-Man. I mean disappearing. No, I dead ass know he's probably gonna be Batman or like Dexter. Remember like that fucking area, like the fucking place where like Dexter caught dokes. Probably gonna go somewhere like that, and then she probably and the guy's probably gonna hover around and catch him lacking or some shit. Cause that'd be pretty fire, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's some fucking Batman shit.
isn't, let me know. I knew what he meant. I didn't give my mom a heads up that I was coming on purpose, and as I drive by, I'm relieved to see just her car and another girly looking car in the driveway. I call my dad before going in and tell him my initial assessment is that nothing sketchy is going on from what I can see. Just looks like her and her friends are here. He's as relieved as I am. I walk up, knock on the door.
Standing on my chair right now to stretch my legs.
Patio door is unlocked, so I walk in. The first thing I see is a leather motorcycle jacket hanging on one of the bar stools, and immediately recognize it as James.
Oh
My
hell
heart
no.
starts pounding, and my adrenaline is pumping as my vision gets all
Damn, the
weird
map's
and my
lost,
ears
bro.
start
These
burning.
bitches been losing,
A
bro.
million
I
questions
had
went through
they're
my
over.
head in a second. Like, are they here? Do they know I'm here? Should I announce myself? God damn it, mom, you fucking cheating asshole. I act fast, assuming they aren't there, but could be pulling up any minute. I take a picture of the jacket, I go to the garage, and sure enough, James's motorcycle is there.
Oh hell no.
I take a picture of that and then run back in and see cell phones stacked where they are charging in the kitchen. I grab a phone I don't recognize. It didn't have a lock on it, so I immediately go to the pictures. First one is of two people I don't recognize, as well as my mom and James, and they're kissing each other on the lips.
Oh hell no.
I scroll a little bit more, and
I'm sorry, bro. They had to go through that. That shit actually mad devastating, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That shit would be like making me hit like the fucking Jimmy Butler stance of Fuck it, man. How do I do the okay? Jimmy Butler said the fucking like yeah this one right here, bro. Shit, bro. I feel it, bro. I feel it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel it. Shit tough, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Are we at 100 subs? No. But yay, bro. We get back to the
more
video.
of the same shit. My heart is pumping out.
Yeah,
my chest at
James
this
Harden.
point, and I take a
Beautiful.
few quick pictures
him.
of my phones in the
Fucking
phone
gorgeous.
and run out of the house, not even remembering or caring what I had originally been there for.
By the way, this guy's a L tier vigilante, a level fucking -0. Cause what the fuck? No, yeah. Well, no, what? Yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. But yeah, this guy's pretty ass. This guy's just panicking around, taking flicks. Bro, you a little bitch ass motherfucker. If I was, yeah, actually, no, yeah. Sneaking that shit, record the fucking incident, and then you record it, and then you like fucking sneak out and show it to your dad when the mom comes back, expose her, and file a lawsuit or something, divorce, and even if she has any money, strip all that bitch from her. And like there's no way you lose that because you literally have video evidence and all that. So it's a dub.
Something I should add here. When I was 7, my mom left my dad for a doctor who just wanted to use her and drop her like a bad habit. And my dad reluctantly took her back after she begged and pleaded. She blamed the doctor
Wow.
at the time, saying he drug/R-worded her or some bullshit. My dad later told me that at the time, he told himself he was doing it for the kids and had planned on leaving her after we graduated high school.
Damn.
But they did so well in between then and our graduations that he eventually forgave her and was happy in their relationship. I remember them being separated, but I didn't know the details until recently.
Wow, bro. That's yo. That dad going through it though, bro. I actually fuck with that dad heavy, bro. He been through shit though. I ain't gonna care. How long did it? Oh, that's gonna be the longest video yet for sure. If it gets posted, that is. If it gets posted.
Okay, so anyways, I peel out of the driveway at the lake house and drive to.
Bro, I was trying to put that cut video on the
like
Fat
try to figure out
versus
what the
Fit,
fuck to do.
and I was like so excited because I'm like, yo, I'm getting better views.
so I could think more
And that shit
clearly,
like
and then called my little sister,
didn't get posted.
trying to decide if I tell my dad and if
Fuck.
so, how. Up to this point, everyone just had their suspicions with no solid proof. My little sister, who is the sweetheart of the family, agrees that I need to call dad and tell him immediately because he deserves to know, despite how bad it will hurt him. I then called my wife and she agreed, but we were both worried what he would do. I hesitate for a bit, but eventually I call my dad to tell him his wife of 25 years is cheating on him. When he answers, I just blurted out, James is here, I have proof, and mom is cheating on you. I didn't know how to put it delicately, so I just gave him the facts. He was in shock like me. He kept saying the same phrase over and over. No fucking way, goddammit. Insert my mom's name. Goddammit. Wow, such a bitch. God damn it. After the initial shock wears off, he apologizes that I had to be the one to see it, and then says he's on his way. It's a 3-hour drive, and that he'll meet up with me at my roommate's. I
Damn.
immediately call my uncle, my dad's identical twin, and my other best friend, and tell him what's going on. I tell him I'm afraid my dad is going to do something stupid. He said he'll make sure he doesn't. They end up coming down together and meet me at my
Oh, is it this one's getting disturbing? Oh no, it's like fucking most. Okay, it's not viewed here, but damn. Okay, this is gonna be fucking crazy. I'm not gonna. Okay, this is gonna be absurd.
roommate's house. We talk for a couple hours and come up with a plan. They switch trucks with my roommate to go incognito because he must see it for himself. My dad promises he won't do anything stupid despite what he may see. He sneaks up there after dark, parks far
Oh
away
my.
and walks a mile through the woods with his brother and a pair of binoculars. He hides behind some trees when he got in a place and sees them on the patio with another couple drinking wine. They're cuddling and kissing like they're an old married couple, and like what they were doing is not beyond fucked up. It took every
Damn.
ounce of self-control for my dad not to run over there and go insane on them. Instead, he did the smart thing, thankfully,
Okay.
and just took pictures of them and left. The next morning, he cleared out their bank account.
Instead of pictures, you should have just recorded a video. I feel like that's like so much better evidence because you already got the pictures. The boy already took the pictures, and you should have just recorded the video. I'm pretty sure he did because he's that fucking retarded. But I'm just putting that bitch out there. You know what I mean?
Sent her the pictures he and I took along with a text that said, I know everything. I'm leaving you. I can only imagine what their reaction was like. I rest assured that the rest of their little getaway was quite stressful. The next year was a nightmare for everyone, and my mom's reaction to this solidified my disdain for her. She dragged everyone into her bullshit and made our lives a living hell. My dad and I caught her red-handed. He just wanted her.
Every woman does this. Like I see this on Instagram. I see this everywhere. I also like seeing this happen. Why the fuck, if a girl cheats on her guy, like on her man, why the fuck does she play the victim card? Like if you're in the wrong, why the fuck are you crying? It's always a man being like a calm and collected and be like, they're just disappointed, sad, and like, yo, I want nothing to do with you, right? That's pretty much what like everything that happens. But the girls are the ones who are crying and making a big thing about it. They're like, oh, because you weren't there, like I didn't get enough love. Like bitch, what the fuck do you want? So I don't understand why do they always do this shit. It's just cooked.
to go to James and let him live in peace. But instead, she dropped James and begged my dad to take her back.
Oh, I just
My dad
farted,
agreed
bro.
to pay her alimony
Holy
if
fuck.
She granted him a divorce without lawyers that would have drained them both financially. She reluctantly agreed. After the divorce, my mom cried every day for a year. She moved in with my little sister in an apartment she couldn't afford. She got on antidepressants and went into a downward spiral that,
Why was she moving in with your sister? Why did your sister allow that? Like that's not like it's just fucking fucked.
because we loved her no matter what, took us all with her. All the lies she had told for a year began to surface more and more. Thinking back on that motorcycle trip where I spent a weekend with this prick made my stomach turn. I even bought the rich asshole a whiskey and coke. Though I despised who she was and what she had done, I was still very concerned for my mom and would listen to her sob on the phone and in front of me. She cried to my wife a lot, which I hated. This was my wife's first year in the family, and my mom was calling her bawling about how cruel my dad was being to her.
Damn.
My mom blamed my dad's twin brother for almost everything, saying he had stolen him away from her on all our guy hunting trips, and he was the reason their marriage fell apart. She was truly manic. My mom's parents and brother were disgusted with her because they loved my dad so much, and they refused to talk to her about it. So my wife, sisters, dad, and I were the ones who got the brunt of it. She tried manipulating everyone to make us think she was the victim here. It made me sick. She tried to make it
Crazy.
seem like she was the battered wife and my dad had treated her badly. We all knew the truth, and I found myself despising her more and more as a person. My dad, on the other hand, went full-blown
I hear something. I'm not sure what the fuck that is though. Wait, what? I have no idea what the fuck that was. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually getting spooked.
frat boy with his newly found freedom. He's a handsome guy with money, and though my mom's reaction was taking a toll on him in every way, he distracted himself by getting on Bumble and banging a bunch of 30 to 40 something year old women, hunted
Comp.
every weekend, and went on Harley rides during the week to escape it all.
That's a player
My
right
mom
there.
still doesn't know about the women, and honestly, after being with the same woman for 30 years, being cheated on twice, and having every aspect of his life being controlled, he deserved it. He needed to get it out of his system. Anyways, getting us more towards the present. My wife and I became pregnant with our first child, and
Nice.
the joy of it was completely overshadowed by my mom's constant meltdowns. I
Bruh.
couldn't even get them in the same room to tell all my family that they were going to have a new niece/granddaughter. For 10 months, she relentlessly berated my dad for not being able to forgive her and used my unborn child, their first grandchild, as a pawn to get him back. She told him that it would be his fault if their grandchild grew up with divorced grandparents. It made my blood boil. After a while, and against me and my sister's encouragement for my dad to stay strong, my dad caved and slowly started to get back with her. They sold their house and now live together in a townhome. My daughter is 17 months old now, and my parents have fallen back into the relationship of my mom dominating his life. Now, and my parents have fallen back into the relationship. Townhome caved and slowly started to get back with her. Sister's encouragement for my dad to
Wait, what the fuck just happened?
parents. It made my blood boil. After a while, if their grandchild grew up with divorced grandparents, it made my blood boil. After a while, and against me and my sister's encouragement for my dad to stay strong, my dad caved and slowly started to get back with her. They
Yo, I'm not gonna. Yo, your dad's a little bitch. Your dad's dad is a bitch. What the fuck? Like, no, what the what? If your dad gets cheated again, bro, respectfully, it's his fault.
sold their house and now live together in a townhome. My daughter is 17 months old now, and my parents have fallen back into the relationship of my mom dominating his life. Despite him trying to set strong ground rules this time, it's been like when a villain gets their power back after losing them. She went from weak and broken to manipulating everyone to her will like she has always done. My wife is shy, caring, and always worried to offend my family in any way, and my mom uses this to try and boss her around when it comes to our daughter until I step in. She'll constantly play the guilt card about how my wife's parents see our daughter more when they live 4 hours away. Yeah, you fucking psycho. They're good people. When I talk to my mom now, there's never love in my voice. I don't want to hate her, but her flaws are so apparent.
Should hate her.
She's a sociopath who has to be in control of everyone. We all love her despite this, but I am the only one who calls her out on her bullshit. My older sister barely speaks to her. My daughter is obsessed with her, and it makes me happy and furious at the same time. She doesn't deserve my dad, and she doesn't deserve our forgiveness, especially since this is twice now that we know about that she cheated on my dad. Not sure how to end this. Just wish my mom wasn't such a shitbag. I guess I'm thankful these events and my realization didn't happen sooner. Otherwise, I wouldn't know that there would good women out there, and instead I'd probably have a hard time trusting them. If you guys made it this far, thanks for reading. Edit. Just want to thank you guys. I read through most of the comments and messages that range from "this is fake" to "your mom is an asshole" to something sincere and relatable. I tried to write it in a way that wouldn't bore people to death. I know everyone
Can't be capping, bro.
says this, but I wrote this expecting no more than a handful of people to read it at most. Sorry it was so long. I did not expect it to be on the front page. Thanks for letting me vent and for responding with your own stories and thoughts on it. Felt good to get it off my chest. Y'all are awesome.
Another fucking ad, bro. Damn, bro. We fleecing the fuck out of this vid.
Sold our business this year, mid-50s. Net worth now over $10 million USD. Our
Damn.
kids have no idea.
Damn.
Teenagers, our siblings have no idea. Our parents are deceased. Nobody else knows except our banker. We live a low-income life, still shopping at Walmart and Target.
Nothing wrong with that. When I become, or hope I become rich, bro, my dream, I have pretty big dreams. So once I reach like anywhere around like 8 to 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I start averaging like good amount of views on my vids, because I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty fucking fraudulent right here. This is like fraud activity views. Like what I mean by views, I mean like at least like around like thousands, like around 10 to 15,000 views. And if I get 8 to 15k subs and like get the amount of views I just stated, or even 5k views of it is like good, I'm gonna start fucking streaming on Twitch, bro. My goals. This channel hit 1 million subs. I want that plaque. I want that bit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I want that plaque. And if this business grows, I want to get some like other people into this shit and make a fucking brand. You know what I mean? And also like after YouTube, like the main thing is gonna be on Twitch, you know, for my VODs. And then out of the VODs, I added some segments, and in a video in like a week, I post 3 videos on YouTube, and 5 to 7 times I fucking stream on Twitch. That's the goal right now, bro. We have big goals, and trying to make this bitch my main shit, bro. This is problem. I'm trying to make this bit my career, and I'm just saying, if I get big or make like a lot of bread, I still want to keep shopping at fucking normal. Like, bro, I do not. I sort of got. I want to mean this. I do not want to shop in like other places. Walmart's fucking fine, bro. All you want is food. Walmart's fine, bro. The fuck. I'm not gonna change most of my life just because of money.
At some point, we may buy a big,
if I have to, I have to, though.
home
You know
on
what I
a
mean?
lake or river, like 2 to 3 million, because why not? But for now, we're happy just being retired, not flaunting our wealth, and living a quiet life, driving an old Honda and Toyota. We are minimalists, by the way, and love decluttering our home of material goods. Good to just type this out for many internet strangers to see. Can't and won't tell anyone else. Cheers. Thousands of others as well.
I want to know, how was that disturbing? Disturbing Reddit confessions. If that's disturbing, I'm gay. If that's disturbing, I'm a lesbian. Like, what is we doing?
Well,
To flunk out of college, I changed my grades, and thousands of others as well. Interesting.
when I was a student at a major university in the late 80s, I was failing several classes miserably. I had completely screwed up in 2 of my 6 classes, and I needed to make a plan of how not to flunk out. For one class, I decided to dedicate all my spare time in correcting where I went wrong and fix it by acing the final exam. The other class, which was much more technical, required that I come up with a plan. Keep in mind that I was a totally goody two-shoes kid who felt like they were in a desperate situation. Failing out of college was not something I could allow to happen. Desperate times, desperate measures. The class that
If you could cheat in these type of situations, I'm not gonna lie, bro, you deserve it. Go cheat. That's you, gang. If you could finesse that, listen, if you finesse it, you finesse it, bro. I'm not saying I like finesse like everything I do, but like, bro, when I have desperate times, I swear, like, I'm gonna just keep it a stack. I do finesse. Like, yo, if something has to be done, it has to be done. It's just what it is. For example, like in high school, I had some classes that's fucked, right? Or like, I think there's like 2 times or like 3 times in like my whole high school, like 4 years, right? Like grade 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I think I had like 3 classes where I was like fucking, I had desperate time. No, I think yeah, like in the 3 to 4 range, desperate measures. And guess what? Your boy's a finesser, so he finessed the fucking shit. Like, if you have to finesse, you finesse. It's just what it is. If you can do that, it's a skill, bro. Cherish that bitch. But I'm not saying do that for every class, because listen, you is not gonna learn jack shit. But sometimes in desperate measures, I support that.
I needed to pass was a science/engineering class that I had not bothered to go to. So I went to the very last Thursday class to figure out my plan. One thing the professor did say was that if you had a 93 or higher average in the class, you could opt out of the final exam that was happening in 1 week. I had a 64 average, so I had to take the exam. How was I going to ace this exam? My grades were too low to get pulled up enough. The only way
If you had an average of 64, isn't that still passing? Because in Canada, you have to have, I think, above 60. Is it? Let's check. What's the average to pass a class in Canada? Let's see this shit, because I'm pretty sure 60. Yeah. Canada, Ontario. Oh shit. Yeah, because I feel like my lowest like at one point out of 55 in the past. It's math. I fucking suck at math. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I suck at math. It's just what it is. Math has my highest mark in math is like a 60, like I think 4 or like 3, and that was like fucking summer school. I just took summer school because I didn't want to do it in person. Math is fucked, bro. Everything else is pretty easy. It's just like I'm just ass at math, like English, science, all of that shit is so easy, bro. Like that's just easy as shit. Like, bro, those classes I barely had to do anything in the past, but bro, math is different, bro. Math hit me like a motherfucker, bro. That's the only class I actually like fucking hated.
The way to fix this was to get my grades.
It's the only class that I felt out of
So I
place,
came
bro.
up
I'm
with
not
a
gonna lie. That's the only class that made me
plan.
felt retarded.
One that involved a few rules to be broken, and by rules, I mean laws. The science building where the class was given would close for the weekend. This meant that the professor's offices were locked and most of the labs were locked.
This is diabolical. Never mind, I take it back. What I mean by finessing, I mean finessing, not like fucking breaking in and breaking laws. Okay, this is absurd. This is actually crazy. This is like, you know, Johnny Test? There's some Johnny Test mission shit. There's some Johnny Test motherfucking shit, you know what I mean?
As well. You could still get into the main parts of the building, but you had to talk to a security person if it was after hours. There wasn't digital badges and shit like that back then.
The fact it's like
here was the
11
plan.
a.m.
On
or
Friday
like
afternoon,
11?
after most classes
No,
were over,
11:20?
I scoped out the whole building.
So it's like near
It was a
midnight,
U-shaped building
and
that
I'm
was
watching this
3
shit so
stories tall.
spooky, scary
I had
skeleton,
to
bro.
find a
I'm
way
like
in.
shivering my
Luckily,
pants right
I
now, bro.
found one of the
Finna
first
piss my
4
shit.
labs on the inside of the U had large
How long did it
horizontal
be, bro?
windows that could be unlocked and would allow for someone to crawl through. Even better, one of the lab's windows
1
was
hour,
obscured
16
by
minute
a
vid,
small
bro. 1
fenced-in
minute.
area to house some of the
Oh,
electrical
fuck.
and
Let's go
HVAC
here. James
units.
Harden. There we
Large
go.
bushes
My
lined the
goat.
fence as well. So while I was there, I went into the lab and unlocked a window to allow myself a place to enter the building. The door of the lab was propped open, and I unpropped it and let it close. It locked. Good to know.
This is
It also
diabolical.
reduced the chances of someone relocking the window. I also scoped out the professor's office. It was open, but he was not in there. It was very small and with no windows. Just enough room for a desk, his chair, and a couple of other chairs.
This is absurd,
His office door
brother.
was all metal door, painted beige except for a small center window in the middle. The window had a wire screen built into the glass, held in place by a simple screwed-on frame. There were lots of manila envelopes and schedules, etc. on the door as well. This would be a challenge, but I had formed my plan. At around 3:30 in the morning, I arrived back at the building with my backpack and a plan to break into the building. I had a hammer, pliers, a roll of tape, and some screwdrivers that I had scrounged and I
This is fucking diabolical. My goodness. This is crazy. Listen, what I meant by like rules and breaking is like finessing the system by like in class or like trying to sneak in answers or like finesse the system in that type of way. That's finessing. I'm not talking about breaking shit, gang. That is insane. Okay. What I said, I mean is by finessing shit like finessing books, finessing answers, and like, bro, be slick in the way how you view shit and pull shit out. Not actually break into the fucking school. That is diabolical. Do not do that, please. Please. Don't. Okay? Thank you. Listen to James Harden, bro. Even he don't want to have you doing that shit like that, bro. That shit cooked.
I was nervous as hell. I made my way through the bushes and climbed over the fence. I checked the window and it was still unlocked. I pulled myself up through the window and into the dark lab. Remembering that the lab doors would lock behind you, I slowly opened the lab door and placed some tape on the lock to stop it from locking. I was expecting a quiet building, but instead was greeted by the loud sound of machinery running. Another lab was conducting an all-night test or something, and at least 3 upper-level students were there overseeing the project. In a way, that was good because my presence wouldn't necessarily be noticeable by others. I would find out later that it would also cover any noises I made. I made my way to the professor's office door, which was a lot more out of the way part of the building. The office was located right by one of the stairwells, so I could hear anyone coming down the stairs, and also, if someone happened to start coming from the other way, I could use the stairs for a quick exit. I
Damn,
pulled
this
out
guy
the
had his whole
screwdriver
shit
to start
through out, bro.
unscrewing the
The
frame
fuck?
around the glass window in his door, and soon realized that the screws were covered in decades of paint. Not good.
Yucky.
What I thought was going to be a 2-minute job turned into a 45-minute job. I went into what I would call fuck it mode.
He said job, bro. That's not a good way of word to say around here, bro. That shit cooked.
And just went to town on this window frame. I had a few
What
starts
is
and
this?
stops, but no one came by. I got the frame off and tried to pry the glass out of the frame. It was sealed with paint. Getting the
Okay,
glass
it
out
looks like this
took
is
a
the last
monumental
one.
amount of
Last
slow
confession.
time
This
and
is a
steady
long
effort.
ass confession.
After
Fuck
30 minutes
me
of
and my
scraping and
fucking
gentle
tight
pressure,
booty cheek
I
ass,
had
bro.
the glass pane out.
And the only person who
I
could do
slowly
that
reached in and
is
turned
you.
the lock to unlock the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink
I
some water,
grabbed
but I ain't gonna lie,
large
this
manila
shit cooked.
folder on the outside of the door and repositioned it over the window. A perfect cover for the now mauled up window. I slid into the office and looked for something to cover the window that would block light. The desk calendar worked well, and a few pieces of tape held it
fuck.
up well. Then I turned the lights on to survey the scene. I was now presented with a desk, a chair, and small slim table behind the desk. Of all the ways my plan could go wrong, my biggest fear was that the professor may have taken all of his grades home with him. A quick look into the large flat file on his desk, and I had full handwritten grade register in my hands, and
Damn.
the pen he used for recording grades was tucked right inside. He taught 6 classes that semester, and I only needed to change 1 grade. My grade. However, now that I had seen how banged up the paint was on the glass window frame, I knew I had to alter the plan. I searched through the grade book and found all of my grades, and I saw I had several in the 70s and some lower 60s grades. I had done some work in the class. I thought it over for a few seconds and started executing Plan B. I went through every single class he had and began randomly changing anything in the 60s to read as if in the 80s. Then I went through the change all the 70s and found to read as 90s.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Is he doing some fucked up shit? Yes. But you gotta give the motherfucker props. This guy finessing though. Bro, he in his bag, bro. He low-key finessing this bitch. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He low-key cooking.
I realized that the changed grades wouldn't stand up under close scrutiny, so I had to create a herd immunity of changed grades. I noticed a few bad students in some of the classes and made some extra efforts at changing their grades. A 0, now an 88. This was taking a while. With 6 classes and 50 students or so in each class and about 10 grades per student, there was about 3,000 grades in this register. I changed at least 1,500 of those grades. Of course, my grades were changed as well. Lots of numbers in the 90s. I closed the grade book and placed it back in the drawer exactly as I had found
Can't
it.
lie, bro. He cooking.
But I heard a little plink sound.
Oh.
I pulled on the drawer and realized it was now locked, but wasn't before.
Oh shit.
Okay, so maybe he'll think he locked it. No big deal. My mind began to wonder of what the aftermath of this might be. Would this work? Would I be able to get away with not taking the exam by creating this academic chaos? About this time was when I noticed the IBM PC on his back table.
Oh wait, if that thing is recording, that's crazy.
Did he record his grades on a handwritten register?
What if that thing is recording? No, like no deadass. What if that thing is actually recording? I don't think that's the case, but just imagine. Just oh my god, that's like creepy. Like no, that's just like fucking weird, and that's crazy because he's fucked.
And his PC? If he had a backup of the grades, all of this would be for nothing. Also, I couldn't reference all the changed grades as the drawer was now locked. I booted up his IBM PC XT and saw that it had 2 3.5 disk drives. There's 5 disks by the communicator. What to do? I loaded each disk in the drive and type DEL and nuke them all. I hadn't planned on this, but then fuck it mode, so
Fuck it mode. This guy mad creative, bro. You gotta give him props.
let's review the plan. Change so many grades that he would have to take an impossible amount of time to deconstruct the chaos and simply give out good grades or at least better grades as needed. No one particular student would be identifiable as a culprit because there were plenty who had a motivation to change the
Yeah. By the way, when was this? Because now they have DNA and shit. Would they use this? Probably not. But listen. Actually, no, they probably could because this is a big fucking crime. Because look, he could literally, like on that, like on the keybinds, they could literally just like see the fucking thing and then get like the fingerprint dust or some shit, and then put it in the lab, and then after a week they could see who actually did this shit, and whoever did, they could get arrested. I'm just putting that bitch out there, bro.
grades. This was as good of an idea as I could come up with. After having distributed all the good grades to all the good boys and girls, I gathered my tools and planned my exit strategy. The back of his door had a few items taped to it as well, so I replaced the glass and frame and covered it with another manila folder. I wrote a poorly written, not on a post-it, that said, "Sorry, mop handle cracked the glass. Replace glass. Maintenance." I then split, got past the grade student running the machine, slipped out the window, and never went back. Didn't show up for the final exam, either because higher than a edited 90 or 93 average, and all. Waited 45 long days.
So wait, am I retarded? Or did he give average like 90 average to everyone? That's like fucking fire.
That summer to get my grades. Got a 90 in the class. Yeah. Okay. No complaints. There had to be some other people who got their grades and were happier as well. Never suffered any consequence on this either, but it was the most stressful night of my life. I haven't done shit like this.
Gotta give the motherfucker props for his deal, bro. He cooked. Is there like another one? I think there's like one more confession, but actually, no, I don't think there could be anything in like fucking 6 minutes. But yo, props to the motherfucker. He actually cooked with this shit. Don't fucking do this shit. But this guy, yo, this motherfucker could make a fucking movie out of this shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I dream for shit like this. This is some comp ass shit, bro. This guy was on that fucking. How do I put this shit, bro? No. This guy was like fucking stealth as a Witcher. This guy was moving like it's Assassin's Creed in this bitch, bro. He cooked. Not even that. He didn't just give himself the 90. He bumped out the boys, bro. He bumped out the crew, bro. The crew, like some of the crew was about to fill. He bumped that bitches to 90 to 93s, bro. Come on now, bro. All the chicks and all that gotta suck this man's dick, bro. They gotta do something to favor him at, bro. Come on.
Ever. Again. Okay.
And another ad, and this was not even loading. We broke as a motherfucker. Harden, I know you listened to that shit. That shit was peak. You can't lie, bro. That shit was fire. Fuck, I need to make a video on this because this Pokemon franchise is dying, bro. Can't even buy Phantasmal.
Meet Benny, your symptom fighting.
Okay, this is gonna be like
He'll tackle your
an hour and 30 long video. Not bad.
Okay. Here's some follow-up to the messages and comments.
Oh shit.
So I'm 50 years old now, and I wrote this on a slow last hour of work on a Thursday because I've been reminded of it while reading a different Reddit post. I wrote the post in about 15 to 20 minutes. A few have asked about the grading discrepancy of 90 versus 93. Now that this memory has taken a little bit more of my brain space the last 24 hours, what I recall was that the requirement to not have to take the exam was having an 8 average. We were on a 7-point scale, then so that would have been 93 and up. I had changed my grades in the gradebook first to meet this requirement, again the whole time in adrenaline freakout mode, but once I had written over my numbers, it was obvious that I was the only one of the adjusted grades. I had hoped I could make the numbers look more convincing. I also realized the self-incriminating factor of just my grades being changed, and for self-preservation, started changing them all. It took forever. When I left the building and the sky was starting to get light for the sunrise, I stated that I arrived at 3:30 a.m. That was a guess. I wasn't concerned with what time it was, just wanted to get it in and get out as soon as I had resolved my grade problem. The thing I failed to convey in the post was that fact I didn't take the exam, but when I received my grades, I got a 90, which is a B on the 7-point scale.
A 90 is a B? Where is the guy doing his education? What the fuck?
This didn't match up to not taking the exam because you should need an A to not take it. So technically, I should have complained and said, hey, where's my A? Since I did not take the exam. So I thought this might have been a dragnet where all students got a maximum B grade, and then this would allow them to find legit A students who would complain and possibly flush out an illegitimate C or D students who might ask about their better than expected grade. That's why I wrote no complaints. State of mind. Not an excuse in any way, but I had a parent pass away my first year at college. There wasn't a lot of counseling back then, just a hand on the shoulder and condolences. I don't remember even hearing the word depression uttered except in psychology class. Mental health was not freely discussed unless someone had big problems. I was probably on the cusp of what was then called a nervous breakdown. I had come from a small town and had expected to escape my one-horse town and breeze through college. One of the smart kids, you know, but I had to let my only dream die. I had lost my dad, my academic career, my escape, and my identity at 19. I know plenty had it worse, but it felt really bad. I had to eat a lot of humble pie, and at first it sucked, but not long after, I felt free of the burden of being in the wrong place,
Okay.
pursuing the wrong thing, and I started smiling again. Aftermath. I changed schools that summer and also changed my field of study. Something about experiencing the absolute guilt of failure of the first school really made me driven at my new school. It was also a very much smaller school and had less distractions. I thrived, made straight A's, and loved learning the new subject matter. I'll describe my field as design, as that's nice and vague. I've been doing that since graduation.
Since when are the Clippers playing tomorrow,
and I have
bro?
my own company.
I'll
Boys.
look, you gotta figure
I'm
that
not
bitch
world
out.
famous or anything, but I would bet most of you have an interaction with something I have designed. This school has been my favorite college sports team my whole
At
childhood.
6 p.m., bro.
and was
That's
my
pretty
single plan
fucking
as a
early. I'm
college
not gonna
student.
cap with y'all,
I cried
bro.
because of this. I had not set foot on that large campus
And
since
Kawhi
that
should be
day
playing
less than a
tomorrow.
years ago.
It says
Until
questionable.
this past
What the
summer when
fuck?
my son went to go tour. I had to hide the awful feeling I had as we walked by the building where this happened. Just this low sense of ancient dread from a past life staring at me as I walked by. My son unaware and instead excited to be there. The professor in this story works for the same university. He had done other things and came back. He's got patents and a PhD and is an expert in the field. Here's a potentially crummy part. He got his PhD within a year of this incident, so I really hope I didn't destroy any of his research when deleting the computer disks. I've thought about anonymously sending him this Reddit link or even star67 calling him
Don't.
to see what the true aftermath was, but this seems like a bad idea and would likely just bum me out. Doubters. My post had several people who doubt the veracity of my post, and I get it. It is the internet. But the story is true, and if there's any untruth is in the specific number of details. Did I wait exactly 45 days for my grades that semester? Fuck if I know. I know I did count them back then because I was waiting for grades that would make or break me, but 40, 45, 65, I don't remember. Did I change that many grades? I swear. I changed as many as I could. 79, now 99. 66, now 86. That's what happened. I distinctly remember feeling the need to do more and more because every time I stopped, I would see one more I could change, and that meant I was safer from being discovered. There's another. Change it. And another. And more was better because each one was another step at covering my tracks. Response.
Comp.
This post's got a lot of positive responses, good karma, etc. It's misplaced. I didn't do this out of a spirit of goodness. I gave others good grades to mask my fraudulent attempt at battering my academic standing. I went home after this and passed out sleeping for most of the day. I still had to study for the exam I was trying to ace legitimately, and then after that, for weeks afterward, I was always wondering, I wonder what happened, and waited on my grades to arrive. Several professors have expressed their disdain at this, and yeah, I can see why, obviously. It was a long time ago. I've pondered a way to make things right and correct this wrong I created, but I'm open to suggestions. Something about being 50 makes you want to correct disturbing good. Thrive in
Okay, we're
out
here.
of the
My
way
bad.
at age 19. Some people have theirs much later. I'm a happy person now. Life is good. It's all worth it. And alright guys, that wraps up disturbing Reddit.
WVid, some of this shit wasn't even that disturbing. I thought this was gonna be even more, but man, I might be a masculine ass motherfucker. Testosterone running through my fucking veins, bro. It's just how it is. But are we at 100? Not quite yet, but we almost at that mark. So please hit that sub button. We're trying to hit 100, and please, for the love of God, I'm praying to God right now with my hands both crossed. Please let this video not get what's the word? Copyrighted, please. I'm begging. Do not let it be copyrighted. I actually want this shit to go through. This could be good content for the channel. And shit, I'm about to put this bitch tomorrow, bro. I'm gonna post 2 to 3 videos with this. So this video, if it gets posted, the Harden video for sure. And it's like this hype video I reacted to like a few days ago, which I'm gonna post. Please, I'm praying. But yeah, peace out, you motherfucking skibbity pooper.